Hi everyone, thank you for joining me in my garden again. So today I'm just working in a garden doing a few projects. One of them that I'm going to do today is to remove this beautiful hellebore that it's in this container. And this is one of my favorite containers. I absolutely love it, and you can see all the details on it. It's really, really beautiful. And so I'm going to remove the hellebore because I planted this last fall, and you know, I kind of want to bring color here again. So I'm going to plant that in my landscape, and then I'm going to remove or transplant canna. You know, cannas in my area are perennials, so I just need to dig up this area. It's filtered sun. It can be shady, but cannas actually did really good in this area. So I planted this a few years ago, but now I'm seeing that maybe it's getting too crowded here because I have a huge hydrangea right here, and then I can show you where the canna is. So I have a canna here, and it's a yellow color, and you can see it's coming up. It has some slug damage on it, but I haven't really done a lot to treat it yet. So I decided I'm going to transplant in a sunnier spot, and then I will go ahead and treat it for the slugs. So I will transplant this, and then that beautiful hellebore I want to plant somewhere right here. And this hole right here, I had a azalea that didn't survive last winter while I was away because it was very dry and it didn't get enough water. So I went ahead and removed that. But the hellebore will be really beautiful here because it's shady. It will thrive here. It will be really beautiful. So, and just to mention, this area here was my first area where I started this entire garden. So this area, you guys, had, obviously it was just a wild place with but this ivy that I have some in here, and the reason, and I still keep this on a fence just because it helps me with the wind. It kind of protects the plants from the wind and stuff, so I'm making sure that that stays there. But this ivy was literally covered this entire area. So what I did is, I started here pulling out old ivy, outlining what I want to do. I dug up this section and started planting my hydrangeas and create this garden. So this tree line right here separates the, so to speak, garden room from the other side, which is really nice because it's kind of a mysterious. You have to go around to see what and discover what's on the other side. And so this wire that I have here, it was from the origin. Originally, it was here. I haven't even touched it, but I think I'm going to let it be for now because that's another project, and I need to find some more decorative edging or decorative trellis-looking, maybe fence type of thing to put here for to divide this section from that section. And I really haven't gotten to it, but you guys know that the gardening is, it takes time, and everything has to mature. Everything takes time, and especially when we are working in the garden ourselves, we have to, go slow and get everything done. It all takes time, and so that's whole another project. I'm going to leave that. So here also I have planted, this was a few years ago, I planted Japanese anemone, and I love them. They're white, they're beautiful. As you can see, they're just starting to naturalize. And to be honest, this is what I really want this area to be. I want them to naturalize in this area and cover because I love their flowers. When they bloom in the fall, it's absolutely beautiful. So so the hydrangeas that I transplanted in my previous videos, the vanilla strawberry hydrangeas was actually here, and it didn't get enough sun, so I transplanted in a more sunnier spot. As you can see, I have empty spots now. So what I'm going to do is plant fuchsias for these empty spots, and this is a fuchsia Annabelle, and it's really beautiful, but it's a hardy fuchsia. I'm not exactly sure, Hardy, to which zone. Thinking maybe 7B or 8, but I have others. I have others, the same variety that are planted in the other sides of the landscape, and they're doing really good. So last year I planted this in a pot and it survived, and they're just really beautiful. They're kind of a pinkish white color, and I think this is a new variety. They kind of have that tropical look quite a bit, but they're actually hardy, so they will come back every year for me. So this fuchsia is kind of tropical-like flowers are like tropical-like. They're very beautiful, and so they kind of remind me of ornaments on a Christmas tree because they just dangle so beautifully, especially in this spot where it's kind of shady. The white really will stand out. So I'm going to plant my fuchsias here, and these fuchsias don't get very big. I think they go up to I believe it was 70 to 90 centimeters, so it's less than a meter, and I don't know how wide they get, but I think they will fill in this area and it will be really beautiful. So that's what I'm going to do today as well. And then today I'm also going to plant some impatiens. I have few different varieties here, and I already placed them where I want them to be. So they're really beautiful. It has a kind of a dark orangey eye with the pink, and then I have actual orange, and I think they will go really well together, kind of blend in. So I'm going to plant them in this around the edge just to bring a nice color. On this side right here, I planted few delphiniums. This one is a white one. I think the other one is blue. I'm not exactly sure. I planted this one last year, and they were small. They're kind of like a little plugs, just like this one. And I usually like to get a small one because they're inexpensive. If I lose them, I can always purchase another one. And also, I think they acclimate and adjust better when they are still smaller plants. And again, for the size of my garden, to fill in, I have to kind of pick and choose, and sometimes I would spend quite a bit for a nice big plant that it's unique and I really feel like I have to have that. And then others, the filler plants and others, I usually, will go a little cheaper and get it, in a smaller containers like this. I will not spend too much on them, and it will take a little time for them to grow, but it will be fine, So we just have to have a little patience, and that way, in a couple of years we have a nice big mature plant for that didn't cost as much. So this one is white variety, and I really like this. And I know that a lot of times everybody thinks that delphiniums are in a full sun plant, but actually they do really well in a shady area. I mean, here it's not dark shade, it's actually filtered sun, because sun comes through the trees and everything, so there's lots of light here. The delphinium actually really likes that. And so anyway, and this one is Galahad, I think. What the name of it is Galahad. So it's a white delphinium, and I'm planting 3 of them, and this one is already here. So I'm going to plant 3 more and have the group of white delphiniums kind of pop from here. I think it's going to be really pretty. So that's another thing. And for my container, I just wanted to show you really quick what I have. And just one moment, I'll bring that really quick. Okay guys, so for this container I'm going to plant this begonia. This is exactly the same variety of begonia that we planted in my containers in my last video, which was a really bright red with the lobelias. But this one is the same variety, it's just a different color, and I really like the color. I think it's really it's going to be very pretty here, especially with all the pink hydrangeas around. So I really wanted to plant something underneath all around it to give a little pop, but this container actually is not very big, and so I'm thinking it may not require. That's why I didn't purchase any more plants to go in here, because sometimes I do that and then I realize it's just really hard to you know, underplant with the big plants. And this begonia still will grow and really fill this container. So I think I might just let it be, and then I will see if there is a need, you know, to add more. I will go ahead and add more. But for now, I'm just going to go ahead and start with all this project, and hopefully we'll be done soon. We'll get started here. Okay guys, so I went ahead and just finished digging out my yellow cannas, and I actually divided them, which was really nice. And this is the beauty of the cannas. They naturalize very, very quickly in my area. And so I have about 5 pieces of cannas that I can spread around the garden. So I divided them. Now I have 5. So I'm going to leave them here for a minute, get this project done, and then I'm going to take them and plant them in a sunnier spot. So now I'm going to get the hollow bore and bring and plant them right here, plant it right here. Okay guys, so I'm finished. I just wanted to also let you know that I watered I'm going to actually water everything that I planted with the hose, but I had a liquid tomato feed already prepared in my container, because for the fuchsias, they produce lots of flowers and they need high potash fertilizer. So the liquid tomato feed works really, really well for them. Because they keep producing flowers all summer long. And so, believe it or not, if you guys haven't tried it, do try it, because Delphiniums love liquid tomato feed, absolutely love it. The minute you give it to them, they're like all perked up, and you know, they just absolutely love it, if you didn't know that. So I also sprinkled some granules of the tomato feed into the holes before I planted them. I also gave them a little bit of a liquid tomato feed right away, right after I planted, just to give them a good fertilizer to start. So I got that done. I finished planting my impatiens, and I actually wanted to point out that I just wanted to let you know that this begonia, I'm not sure how big it's going to get. It probably will fill up this whole container. I have to decide if I want to underplant this begonia with anything else or not. I'm not sure, because if this begonia gets really big, then everything will be covered anyway. So I might just give a little time to see what this begonia is going to do. But I don't really want any spillers in this container, just because this container is so beautiful and I love looking at it. So I don't want anything to really cover the container, because it's just such a, to me, it's like art. So I kind of don't want to cover this. So I'm going to let that be for a moment and see how it's going to do. Here I wanted to show you my hellebore that I transplanted, and just wanted to, about hellebores, just wanted to let you know what I was reading is that they really don't like to be moved around. So when you plant them, just let them be kind of like the peonies and also oriental poppies. They just don't like being transplanted too many times. I hope this guy will do well, because I amended soil quite a bit and I gave it a good fertilizer in the hole before I planted. So I'm hoping that it's going to do well, but I really like how it covered here, because this will just be really beautiful when it blooms. Hellebores are really expensive plants, you guys, but I am trying to at least one every year add more. So even it's one or two, I'm keep trying to add more of them into my garden, because they're just absolutely gorgeous plants. But also, just before we wrap this up, I wanted to show you the impatiens that I planted the other day here with some coleus. And then I just really want to show you my rose garden once more. So here I planted some impatiens, and I went with the lighter colors just because this is a kind of a shady area, and I like to have the lighter color pop. So I have some whites and kind of pinks and amethyst colors, and then I have coleus here in between them. So hopefully coleus will really start growing and get more robust, and then the rest of the plants will kind of fill around it. And then my containers looking really, really good, you guys. In last video we planted these containers, and I wasn't sure how the blue will go with the red, and I actually have to say I'm absolutely adoring. This is the best containers I think I've had here, and every year I try to do something different, but this, I think I might have to repeat this if I can find this type of begonias again, because this is absolutely awesome and it just pops the color so well. But here I wanted to show you my rose garden, formal rose garden, and oh my god, this is my first year that roses are doing really, really good. Oh, this needs to be straightened a little bit because the wind really just got it. But anyway, I will stake it a little better. But these roses are doing so well this year. Look at that. They're just burst into flowers this year. In last video they were a little more closed, but now it's much more and more open, and this is how I envisioned this area to be when I was planting them, and I think they really came out nicely. But here I wanted to show you my fuchsia, and the fuchsia that we just planted, the fuchsia Annabelle, is actually going to be kind of like this one. This is the fuchsia Sarah, and I love this fuchsia. You can see it got a little dry, but it's coming back around, and this is a white and purple one, and it's just so gorgeous, and they bloom like crazy all summer long. I have a little one right here. You can see that it's blooming. Look at that. Isn't that so beautiful? Look at that. Absolutely love it, and they're quite large. So this is a hardy fuchsia. I planted them last year. It's coming back, and they suffered a bit, but they're coming around. You can see they have lots of blooms on them. They're starting to really bloom. I gave them some good fertilizer, and hopefully they will start really producing beautiful flowers. So this is all for today, you guys. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you If you like my videos, please don't forget to subscribe them, and have a wonderful week, and I will see you in my next video. Bye bye.